My name is Nell Halse, and I'm the Vice President of Communications for Cooke Aquaculture. And Cooke Aquaculture is a family-owned, started out as a family-owned salmon farming company. And we are the only salmon farming company in the state of Maine. But we also now own salmon farming operations in Washington State. But we've grown also to be a much broader company, a seafood company. So we have fisheries acquisitions in assets both in the US and other parts of the world. The regulatory process that's been developed here in the state of Maine really supports that. When there's a new application for a new farm, for example, there's a very clear process to go through with hearings and public engagement. And I think that's served us really well. I think there isn't, we farm in many parts of the world, but in the state of Maine, we enjoy a real positive relationship with the community and with the state. It's really going to be important for SEANET to align its priorities and areas of research with what the industry needs. That's going to be really critical for it to really be valuable in terms of growing the sector. There's a lot of science and research, of course, that's interesting and nice to know. Yeah. But from our perspective, one of the objectives of SEANET is to align scientific research with decision makers in the state. And we don't want them to forget that we're one of the decision makers. The industry is one of the big ones. So if we get science support that answers questions that we need that are farming challenges or fish health challenges or engineering challenges, if we can get answers to those, then it helps us in our decision making and managing our business so that it's successful. We employ more people, we grow the business, and provide good value to the state of Maine. There are some important priorities for us in terms of science and research, and that is learning more about sea lice, the biology of sea lice and how they behave, and then also what are the best management tools. And really, we need an integrated pest management approach to managing sea lice, which is an agricultural principle where you have a variety of treatment options that are targeted to different life cycle of the parasite you're dealing with, the water temperatures, and the different environmental conditions. And you don't want to use one treatment exclusively because then you get resistance and it's no longer effective. So one of the challenges, or the big challenge we have in Maine, and it is really a barrier to growth for us, is that we do not have an integrated pest management plan here that works. We don't have enough treatment options. We're very limited. And one of the challenges is that we're on a global scale. The Maine aquaculture sector is still a small world. So for companies that have treatment options to go to the process to get treatments registered, it's expensive. And they look at Maine and they say, well, is that really worth it? It's a small sector. I think training and education are also fundamental to growing the sector. In the early days, salmon farming or aquaculture, it was a lot of hands-on work, skilled physical labor. But as we grow and incorporate more technology in every aspect of our business, there's also a need for really high-skilled people, young people who are, so we would need people who are biologists, fish health technicians, but also people who can run computerized feeding systems and maintain them. Investment in science and research, like projects like EPSCoR, is really important to a sector like aquaculture. There are other countries in where they have a strong salmon farming or an aquaculture industry, where there's a lot of money being invested in universities, through universities or through government agencies in science and research. And we want to make sure that the state of Maine doesn't fall behind. So it's really critical that there is good research money invested in the state of Maine, and that, again, the priorities are aligned well with the industry's needs. So it would be nice to see this continue.